Hello and welcome. You are watching Tracking COVID-19. I am Anil Thomas. This is our special half-an-hour show in which we tell you all the developments on the pandemic. We also get you inputs from the steps taken by the administration, inputs by our reporters, global developments and experts' advice. All packed together in the next 30 minutes. Let's begin with the top updates. On International Earth Day, Prime Minister Narendra Modi calls for a pledge to make a clean and pollution-free Earth. Also appeals to people to give a big salute to coronavirus warriors. West Bengal government agrees to cooperate with centre on the visit of interministerial team to take stock of the lockdown. The move comes a day after strong directive by the Home Ministry following reports of non-cooperation with the central teams. Government expands the list of activities and services exempted from lockdown measures. Exemptions announced in agriculture, shops selling educational books and for Indian seafarers at Indian ports. Active COVID-19 cases in the country reached 15,474, 3,869 persons discharged, while 640 deaths reported so far. Union Minister for Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution Minister Ramvilas Paswan says there is no shortage of food grains for the poor, asks Congress leader Rahul Gandhi to shun negative mindset. ICMR advises states not to use the new rapid antibody test for COVID-19 for 2 days after reports of variation in results. Says if there is some fault in the batch, we will ask the company to replace the kits. Delhi-Noida border closed till further order to avoid COVID-19 spread. Relaxation allowed only for select services with valid passes. Global COVID-19 cases crosses 25.6 lakhs. Death toll reaches 1,77,000. United States suspends green cards for entry into the country for 60 days. President Trump says the decision will apply to only those seeking permanent residence in United States. Australia, meanwhile, moves towards recovery from COVID-19. Prime Minister Scott Morrison says schools will be reopened for more children. Well, let's first look at COVID-related developments in India in Ground Zero. As the world celebrates the 50th Earth Day today, Prime Minister Narendra Modi expressed his gratitude to Mother Earth and said in a tweet, I quote, "On International Day of Mother Earth, we all express gratitude to our planet for the abundance of care and compassion. Let us pledge to work towards a green, cleaner, healthier and more prosperous planet." A shout out to all those working at the forefront to defeat COVID-19. Hashtag Earth Day 2020. The number of active cases of COVID-19 in the country has now reached 15,474. The total number of those who have recovered and have been discharged has gone up to 3,869. There have been 640 deaths and 1 migration, bringing the total to 19,984. Maharashtra has reported 5,218 cases so far. Delhi and Gujarat have reported more than 2,000 cases till now. Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu and Uttar Pradesh have reported more than 1,000 cases of COVID-19. Home Minister Amit Shah interacted with doctors and IMA through video conferencing. He praised their hard work and efforts. Union Health Minister also attended the meeting. The Home Minister assured them that government stands firm behind the doctors for their safety and will do everything possible for the same, and asked them to withdraw their symbolic protest. But for more on the story, Shailendra Mishra, our correspondent on the phone line. Shailendra, a call being made to put down the protest. What's the latest there, and what do you hear from the doctors after this particular video conferencing between the Home Minister, the Health Minister and the doctors?
जी, हम जानते हैं अनिल की कुछ जगहों पर इस तरह की खबरें आ रही थी कि डॉक्टरों को परेशान किया जा रहा है और ऐसे में सरकार के स्तर पर, उच्च स्तर पर ये भरोसा दिया गया है। खुद गृह मंत्री अमित शाह ने स्वास्थ्य मंत्री हर्षवर्धन के साथ इंडियन मेडिकल एसोसिएशन के जो प्रतिनिधि हैं और जो डॉक्टर हैं उनसे वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंसिंग के जरिए बातचीत की है और ये कहा है कि डॉक्टरों की जो सुरक्षा है वो सुनिश्चित की जाएगी और जो भी संभव होगा वो किया जाएगा। साथ ही साथ अपील इस बात की है कि जो एक सिंबॉलिक प्रोटेस्ट कुछ डॉक्टरों ने कहा था कि वो करेंगे, फिलहाल उसे वापस लें और एक तरह से पूरा भरोसा सरकार की तरफ से इस बात को लेकर दिया गया है कि सरकार पूरी तरह से इस बात को लेकर चिंतित है और सारे जो जरूरी कदम है वो उठाए जाएंगे। हम जानते हैं कि खुद प्रधानमंत्री भी जो डॉक्टरों पर कुछ जगह जो घटनाएं हुई उसको लेकर अपनी चिंता जाहिर कर चुके हैं और आज गृह मंत्री अमित शाह ने स्वास्थ्य मंत्री के साथ वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंसिंग कर सीधे डॉक्टरों से संवाद किया है और उन्हें भरोसा दिया है कि इस तरह की कोई घटना न हो, इसको सुनिश्चित किया जाएगा और डॉक्टरों की पूरी सुरक्षा की जाएगी। तो निश्चित तौर पर गृह मंत्री की वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंसिंग के बाद एक तरह से कह सकते हैं कि डॉक्टरों में जो भरोसा है सरकार के आश्वासन के बाद इस बात को लेकर कि उन्हें सुरक्षा दी जाएगी वो बढ़ा और निश्चित तौर पर एक अहम पहल गृह मंत्री अमित शाह की तरफ से जब सीधा संवाद किया गया है डॉक्टरों के साथ, इंडियन मेडिकल एसोसिएशन के प्रतिनिधियों के साथ और उन्हें सुरक्षा का पूरा भरोसा दिलाया गया है। जी अनिल।
Okay, we'll leave it there. Thank you and appreciate your joining us, and also you take good care of yourself while you report on COVID-19. Moving on, the centre is taking several steps along with the states and union territories for prevention, containment and management of COVID-19. These are being regularly reviewed and monitored at the highest level. The Empowered Committee 4, which is entrusted with to augment the human resources and capacity building, has developed the COVID Warriors dashboard, which contains data for 20 companies that includes human resources, which includes MBBS doctors, Ayush doctors, nurses, frontline workers. At present, there is data for more than 1 crore 24 lakh human resource on the dashboard, and it is continuously being updated with additions of new groups and subgroups as per specialization. 4 districts, Mahe, Kodagu, Pauri Garhwal and Pratapgarh, have not reported any fresh cases during the last 28 days. There are now 61 additional districts from 23 states and union territories that have not reported any fresh cases during the last 14 days. 4 new districts have been included in the list: Latur, Osmanabad, Hingoli and Washim from Maharashtra. ICMR has advised all states not to use the new rapid antibody test for COVID-19 for 2 days as variations are reported in investigation. It has said that it will investigate the issue of faulty kits. Union Minister of Health and Family Welfare, Dr. Harshvardhan, has written to the health departments of all states and union territories to ensure adequate availability of blood in blood banks. Moving on, West Bengal has finally agreed to cooperate with the centre on the visit of interministerial teams. West Bengal's Chief Secretary had written to the Home Ministry and assured that they will follow the order under the Disaster Management Act and directions of the Supreme Court.
पश्चिम बंगाल के मुख्य सचिव ने आज शाम को पत्र लिखकर गृह मंत्रालय को बताया है कि उन्होंने टीम्स के साथ संपर्क किया है, बैठक की है और उनका ऑन द स्पॉट आंकलन में सहयोग दे रहे हैं। उन्होंने आश्वासन दिया है कि वे आपदा प्रबंधन अधिनियम के तहत पारित आदेश एवं माननीय सर्वोच्च न्यायालय के निर्देशों का पालन करेंगे। गृह मंत्रालय पश्चिम बंगाल सरकार के निर्णय का स्वागत करता है।
Earlier in a letter to the West Bengal Chief Secretary, Union Home Secretary had strongly objected to the reports of non-cooperation with the central interministerial team that visited West Bengal and also asked the state government to cooperate. Meanwhile, the 2 central teams are expected to start their work in the state following the assurance of the state government. Ministry of Home Affairs has further expanded the list of exempted items from the COVID-19 lockdown. According to a new order form from the ministry, facility for import and export such as pack houses, inspections and treatment facilities for seeds and horticulture produce, research establishments dealing with agriculture and horticulture activities, and inter- and intrastate movement of planting materials and beekeeping related materials are exempted from lockdown measures. Shops selling educational books for students and electric fans are also given relaxation from lockdown measures. Further, sign-off and sign-on of Indian seafarers at Indian ports and their movement for this purpose as per the standard operating protocol is also given exemption. Goa Chief Minister Dr. Pramod Sawant welcomed the SOP issued by the Ministry of Home Affairs for disembarking of seafarers at Indian ports. He hoped that Goans stranded on the high seas will now be soon home.
होम सेक्रेटरी ने जो ऑर्डर निकाला स्टैंडर्ड ऑपरेटिंग प्रोसीजर फॉर द साइन ऑन एंड साइन ऑफ ऑफ द इंडियन सीफेयरर्स एट इंडियन पोर्ट्स एंड देयर मूवमेंट फॉर द ऑफिसर पर्पस, जब मैं उनका स्वागत करता हूं, मैं सभी गोवा के लोगों की तरफ से माननीय पंतप्रधान नरेंद्र मोदी जी का मैं आभार व्यक्त करता हूं, धन्यवाद व्यक्त करता हूं। मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ शिपिंग से जो साइन ऑफ और साइन इन करना है वो कल से स्टार्ट होगा और मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ शिपिंग से इसके लिए टीजी शिपिंग से और एक प्रोटोकॉल आने वाला है, कौन सी शिप कौन से इंडियन पोर्ट पे लगेगी, कौन सी शिप कहाँ पे लगेगी और उनके मूवमेंट किस तरह से होगा, इसके लिए सेपरेट एसओपी आने वाली है कल। तो उस एसओपी से देख के बाकी प्रोटोकॉल यहाँ पे निश्चित किया जाएगा।
Further, it's clarified that bedside attendants and caregivers of senior citizens residing in their homes under social sector, recharge facilities for prepaid mobile connection under public utilities and food processing units in urban areas under supply of essential goods are included in the essential or exempted services and activities from lockdown measures. Meanwhile, moving to Uttar Pradesh, the Uttar Pradesh government has ordered for complete sealing of Delhi-Noida border till further orders as a precautionary measure to contain the spread of COVID-19 infection in Gautam Budh Nagar district. The decision is based on the observation made by the health department of the district. Citing reference of the new cases of COVID-19 infection in the district and the high volume of traffic movement between Delhi and Noida, the health department recommended for sealing the borders. However, relaxation in commutation has been given to government officials directly involved in handling the COVID-19 related services with valid passes issued by authorized officials. Apart from them, ambulance service, specialist doctors serving in Noida-based hospitals shall be allowed to cross the border. Central government officers above the rank of Deputy Secretary with identity card issued by the Ministry of Home Affairs and media personnel with valid pass issued from the Office of Additional Commissioner of Police or District Information Officer shall be allowed to commute. Keeping in mind the convenience of media personnel working in Noida, the old system of accepting ID cards shall be in place till 22nd of April. This relaxation is valid for media personnel only. Union Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution Minister Ramvilas Paswan has asserted that there is no shortage of food grains for the poor. He asked Rahul Gandhi to shun his negative mindset after the Congress leader's attack centered over his decision to use surplus rice for making ethanol. He added that it is wrong to say that things like sanitizers or masks are for the use of the rich, as the government wants that even poor can use them.
सरकार की तरफ से हमारी मानसा है, दोनों चीज है कि जो गरीब लोग हैं उनको कहते भूखा नहीं रखा जाए, लेकिन उसके साथ साथ ये कह देना कि आज के समय में सैनिटाइजर जो है अमीर लोगों के लिए है या मास्क अमीर लोगों के लिए है, मैं समझता हूँ ये गलत बात है। हम तो चाहते हैं कि इतना सैनिटाइजर हो जाए कि हम हर गरीब को क्या कहते हैं उसका लाभ क्या कहते हैं कि ले सके और इस वायरस से बचे, और मास्क का क्या कहते हैं कि हर घर में क्या कहते हैं कि प्रयोग हो।
Well, time for some news that inspire hope in the fight against COVID-19. Our segment, Good News. Technology Development Board, a statutory body of the Department of Science and Technology, has approved financial support to MyLab Discovery Solutions, Pune, for ramping up production of COVID-19 diagnostic kits they have developed. MyLab Discovery Solutions is the first indigenous company to develop real-time PCR-based molecular diagnostic kit that screens and detects COVID-19 from samples of people who display flu-like symptoms. With support from TDB, they will ramp up the production of the kits through automation of the facility from current manual process, thereby increasing its current capacity from 30,000 tests per day to 1 lakh tests per day. This kit has been approved by ICMR and CDSCO. The kit will be deployed in a very short time considering the national emergency. TDB invited applications from Indian companies and enterprises for preventing the spread of COVID-19.
The Technology Development Board of Department of Science and Technology put out a special call looking for these solutions from the companies that have the basic technology, that they have been in some limited production and now they need to scale up their production. The company which is going to receive the support is MyLab from Pune, which makes molecular diagnostic kits for RT-PCR machines. Their plans are ambitious, going from 30,000 kits per day to about 1 lakh kits per day. So there would be a great contribution to our plans of testing larger number of people very quickly.
Well, amid the national lockdown imposed in the country, laborers and migrants have been the worst hit lot. In the city of Chandigarh, in order to ease out situation for the needy, the CRPF is distributing cooked food packets to laborers and migrants. The food has been prepared by the Central Reserve Police Force and is being provided to the ones residing in different parts of the city. Moving to a global outlook to some good news. In Britain, 99-year-old British war veteran Captain Tom Moore, who has raised more than $28.77 million for health service by walking laps of his garden, opened a new field hospital on Tuesday. Moore praised the National Health Service, that's the NHS workers, via video link at the opening of a new Nightingale Hospital in Harrogate in northern England, which is being set up to help deal with the COVID-19 outbreak. Well, let's now scan through the developments from across the globe in World Wrap. Well, taking a look at international numbers, the total number of COVID cases around the globe have crossed 25.6 lakhs, while the death toll has crossed 1,76,000. United States of America, Spain and Italy remains the country with the most number of reported cases. Meanwhile, the U.S. Senate on Tuesday unanimously passed a legislation providing nearly $500 billion in additional federal aid to help small businesses hurt by the COVID-19 pandemic and to aid hospitals dealing with large number of seriously ill patients. The bill, which is supported by the White House, now goes to the House of Representatives, where it could be voted up as soon as Thursday. Meanwhile, President Trump has said that his plan to ban immigration into the United States will last for 60 days and applies to only those seeking permanent residence. President Trump said that he will be issuing a temporary suspension of immigration into the United States, and the measure will be in effect for 60 days and then reevaluated. About 1,950 inmates and nearly 155 staff of an Ohio prison have tested positive for COVID-19. The number would make the outbreak at the Marion Correctional Institution in Marion among the largest COVID-19 hotspots in the United States of America. Nearly 80% of the prison's roughly 2,500 inmates have been affected by the virus. Spain has approved an extension of the country's lockdown to May 9th, but eased some limits on children from April 27th. Spain's spokeswoman Maria Jesus Montero said that the government was working on a guide that would outline permitted activities, although she alluded to the common sense and responsibility of parents. The British Parliament, meanwhile, resumed on Tuesday from an extended Easter break in the wake of COVID-19 pandemic, allowing lawmakers to scrutinize ministers as criticism grows of government handling of the global crisis. Few lawmakers were in attendance as Britain's parliament reconvened as members of parliament seek to adhere to social distancing measures. Senior government minister Jacob Rees-Mogg formally proposed a part virtual hybrid parliament to be introduced temporarily as Britain continues to combat the spread of COVID-19. Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison has declared that the country is on the road to recovery with the new coronavirus infections almost stamped out. He has said hospitals will resume many elective surgeries and schools will be reopened for more children. Australia had banned all non-emergency surgeries to free up hospital beds in March amid expectations of a surge in COVID-19 cases. Schools were also closed. Australia has recorded 6,547 cases of COVID-19 and has reported 67 deaths. Well, let's now take a look at some fake news that have been busted amid this COVID-19 developments. In a latest disclosure by the government, a fake news about the Ministry of Railways has been busted. The fake claim was that due to the lockdown, the Ministry of Railways is planning to cut the salary and allowances of over 13 lakh officers and employees. However, the government has rejected this claim and said that it is totally false and no such plans are being made by the Ministry of Railways. In another disclosure, the government has once again clarified that the fake news claiming that hotels, restaurants will remain closed till 15th of October 2020 due to the COVID-19 outbreak has been busted. The Press Information Bureau, that's PIB, clarified that no such order has been issued by the Tourism Ministry. Government has also rejected a report by a web news portal that it has launched the beta version of a soon-to-be-launched video conferencing app. In a tweet, the Press Information Bureau clarified that the centre has neither launched nor endorsed any video conferencing application. Well, AIIMS doctors have come up with a music video of their own to drive home the crucial message that there is no need to worry as far as COVID-19 is concerned, and like many other threats in the past, India will win this battle too.
तू है घबराए काय चिंता तुझे सताए तू है घबराए काय चिंता तुझे सताए
तू कमाल है बेमिसाल
हमें तुम पे नाज है भाई काहे घबराए क्यों तू है घबराए काय चिंता तुझे सताए तू कमाल है बेमिसाल हमें तुम पे नाज है भाई काहे घबराए वॉशिंग भी है जरूरी और पीपीई के इस्तेमाल से करेंगे जीत भी पूरी
सुन 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 अरे भाई सुन जानो इसके कई सारे गुण सुन 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 अरे भाई सुन जानो इसके कई सारे गुण
ना कम करे ना ज्यादा बस सही पीपी डाल के जाए काहे घबराए
घर वालों की अब चिंता दिन रात जो तुझे सताए कोरोना तो मिट जाएगा उनको तू दे समझाए
अरे सुन 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 सिस्टर सुन 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 डॉक्टर बाबू सुन 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 सिस्टर सुन 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 डॉक्टर बाबू सुन
और जरूरी एक बात है सुन
सही तरीके से पीपी पहन के जंग पे जाए काहे घबराए
The doctors showing so much positivity there as they are the corona warriors there on the street, in the hospitals. It's for us to stay positive in this time of staying indoors. Well, April 22nd is also celebrated all over the world as World Earth Day. This year is a special occasion as it marks the 50th anniversary of the Earth Day. The theme of this year is climate action. Let us all take a pledge to make every day an Earth Day on this planet. Let 3 R's have a new meaning to a new generation of young people. Reduce, reuse, recycle. That is, reduce the amount and toxicity of trash you throw away, reuse containers and products in creative ways, and recycle as much as possible and buy products with recycled content. Bye for now. Stay safe, stay indoors, be healthy, and always positive with hope. Bye-bye.